Hello, everyone. Professor Cornish here. Welcome to our presentation today on routine activities theory. Now, routine activities theory, it really encompasses multiple theories, such as rational choice theory, differential opportunity, social control, victim lifestyles theory. Now, it is classified as both a choice theory as well as a victimological theory. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, with routine activities theory, it views that crime will occur when a combination of three elements are present. A motivated or likely offender, someone that wants to commit crime and also has the capabilities, the skills to commit the crime. Accessible and suitable target, as well as the absence of a capable guardian, someone that can stop the crime from happening, that can stop the offender, that can report the crime. So, really, under the theory, if you have a likely offender plus a suitable target and an absence of a capable guardian, or one that the offender doesn't view as capable, then crime will end up occurring. Now, criminal activity will occur when either effective controls are absent, like managers and capable guardians, or one of the necessary elements strengthens, whether it's the offender or the place that they're going to commit the crime at, or it becomes totally absent or ineffective, like the handler for the offender isn't effective, the place manager isn't effective, the capable guardian isn't deemed effective, then crime will occur. Now, under the theory, changes in crime patterns can be explained by changes in the supply motivated offenders. So, people that are wanting to commit crime and have the capabilities to commit it, an increase or decrease in attractive targets and places that are suitable for crimes to occur, because not all places are suitable to commit crime, just like not all targets are actually suitable to go after. Changes in the availability of effective handlers, and we'll go into what handlers are in a little bit. Um, Effective guardians and place management, and or a shift in the routine activities of society. So like how society goes about its business ends up changing, and that can change the likelihood that the elements of a crime will converge in the absence of capable controls. So like COVID, for example, we saw crime really change with COVID because people weren't out and about. We had things like domestic violence and some other crimes increase, but things like robberies and shoplifting and other similar crimes decrease because no one was out and about. Now, also, under the theory that motivated likely offender, they're going to actually look at, okay, is this place suitable to commit crime? Do I have the capabilities and the skills to actually do this crime? Is this a good target? The people that could stop me or report me, are they capable? They're going to conduct an assessment. And based on that assessment, they're either going to choose to commit the crime, like, hey, everything's good to go, or they're going to, nope, I don't have the skills. That person can kick my tail end. I'm probably going to get reported. I'm probably going to get caught. It's not worth it. I'm not going to do it. Now, you can see that in this diagram, the red is crime. And you have really convergence of the offender, the target, and the place. Now, the offender is someone that's positioned to take advantage of the routine criminal activities, routine criminal opportunities, whenever, and wherever they're presented. Now, the place is the area in which the suitable target exists, either a shop or a home. Like if someone wants to shoplift, the store is going to be the place that they're going to do it. Or if they want to burglarize a home, the home's going to be the place where they're going to obtain the items that they want to steal. Now, a target is any suitable, accessible item that could either be stolen or vandalized, or even a target can be a person that you want to victimize, whether it's you're going to take their money, you're going to sexually assault them, physically assault them, whatever you're going to do. Now, with this diagram, the gray is crime. And of course, you could see the green, the offender, the place, the target, whether it's a thing, a place, or a victim. And then the blue is what can buffer. That's what can break the green from actually occurring. Now, the handler buffers the offender, the manager buffers the place, and the guardian will end up buffering the target or the victim. So, really, crime will occur when you've got a motivated offender, a good place to do it, that manager's deemed ineffective, the handler that can buffer the offender's ineffective, and the guardian's ineffective, therefore increasing the suitability of the target. Now, the likely offender, now this is pretty self-explanatory. The offender first needs to be somebody that's motivated. A likely offender is someone that's willing to commit a crime. And they're going to do it either like for need. Hey, I need money, so I'm going to rob a bank. They may do it out of excitement, like, oh, I love shoplifting. It just gives me a thrill. Or there might be other motivations too, but they have to have a reason why they're going to commit a crime. They have to have the opportunity to actually engage in criminal acts. And that's where, your handlers and the place, as well as a suitable target, comes in. If the opportunity isn't there, they're not going to commit the crime. They also have to be capable of committing the criminal act, meaning they have to have the skills necessary to be able to do it. Now, just to give an example, now when Colorado ended up legalizing the recreational use of marijuana, the neighboring states like Wyoming and Nebraska, we saw a significant increase in marijuana possession and distribution. And the reason why was previously, if somebody wanted to deal marijuana, sell it, they had a harder time of doing that. They had to figure out, okay, how am I going to get product? That was one of the big things. Well, when Colorado legalized, the only thing now people that want to sell marijuana have to do, go into Colorado, legally purchase from pot shops, come back up to Wyoming and Nebraska, and then bang, they've got enough product to sell. Or like another example, let's say you have someone that wants to burglarize vehicles. If they don't have the skills to break into a vehicle and get past the security system, they're not going to be able to break in. And even if they do, the alarm system goes off, they're pretty much guaranteed they're going to get caught soon. Somebody's going to hear that alarm and notice. So you have to have not only the want and the opportunity, but you have to have the skills to commit a crime. Now, what can buffer that motivated offender and keep them from committing crime is a handler. Now, they're a conventional individual, meaning they're pro-social, they don't commit crime, or engage in other antisocial behavior, and they have an emotional investment in keeping that likely offender from committing crime. So it can be parents, other family members, friends, teachers, coaches, other role models, etc. Now, the reason why they serve as a buffer is they can exude influence on that offender. Either teaching them right from wrong, hey, it's wrong to commit crime, or if you want to have fun, there's better ways to do it than going shoplifting or whatever. There's better ways to deal with your anger than beating someone up. But also, they exude informal social control on the likely offender. Now, we'll discuss social control in, later on in a different presentation. But with a social control, first off, if the offender does commit a crime, they call the offender on it. Hey, that was wrong. You shouldn't have done that. But also, too, the offender won't want to commit the crime because, hey, I don't want to get caught and I don't want to disappoint these people. So handlers can exude a lot of influence on an offender, but in order for them to be effective, they have to be significant to that offender. So if the offender doesn't care about their parents and friends, or other role models, then they're not going to be effective. Or if the handlers don't actually try to stop the person, like if they're engaging in crime and antisocial behavior themselves, then they're definitely not going to be an effective handler. Actually, they wouldn't even be a handler. But with each one of the buffers, they have to be viewed as significant and effective. If they're not, the offender's basically not going to care. Now, we'll next go into places and managers. Now, a place is anywhere where a suitable target exists. It can be like a parking lot, a street, a house, a store, whatever, somewhere where a suitable target could potentially be. Now, they do need to provide the offender opportunity and ability to commit the crime. So, again, going to the car burglar. If a car is locked, doesn't look like there's anything valuable inside, it's in a well-lit area, and there's like a lot of traffic going back and forth, not a suitable place. Even if the offender goes, oh, wow, I really want to break into this car. If it's not in a good place, they're not even going to try it. Now, what serves as a buffer to a place is a manager. Now, there are individuals like shopkeepers, homeowners, other individuals that have a direct personal investment in securing the place or a target. So, like, for example, one thing stores do, and you'll find this if you go into like Target or Walmart, Home Depot, Menards, wherever you go into, they don't keep valuable items near the entrances. They only have the cheapo items near the entrances. And that's because if you have a valuable item right near an entrance, that's easy for the person to run in, grab, and then they're out. And then you just lost your TV or whatever the item is. So having the valuable items further back, having like your closed circuit television that's operational. You have a security system, parking your vehicle under a street light, making sure it's locked, making sure your valuables are not in plain sight. From your home, like if you go on vacation, making sure that you leave some lights on. You have someone come and check on your home, not just grabbing your mail and wandering away, but actually coming in, staying for a little bit. Makes it look like there's someone home. letting like law enforcement know that, hey, I'm going on vacation. That way they can just kind of do a drive by. Not posting on social media that you're going to be going on vacation where someone can find it and go, oh, hey, they're on vacation. Their house is open. No one's home. Guess where I'm going to go? So there's a lot that managers can do to make sure that their place isn't deemed suitable. And even too, we can really be our own managers as well, like making sure that if we go out at night, staying with a group, if we're going on a walk, walking with other people, making sure that we're staying in well lit areas, making sure that we're letting someone know that, hey, I'm going on a walk. I'll be back in a little bit. Again, like, we serve as our own managers for our cars, our homes. Now, a suitable target, it can be a person, it could be a place or an object. Now, in really, when an offender starts assessing, okay, is this a suitable target? First, it's got to have value, either monetary or bring some kind of pleasure to the offender. It's got to have inertia, meaning the ability to be easily carried away from the scene. Now, when I was younger, we had big screen TVs, but they were huge. Those did not get taken very often in home burglaries because they were really, really difficult to carry and very visible. You had to have a 3 or 4 people to move those. And like another thing that really wouldn't have inertia is, for example, if someone wants to, let's say, rob other people and they want to try to like get them into like a dark area where they can more easily do the robbery. They're not going to be likely to go after somebody that's really big in muscle. One, because they're not going to want to go. And two, most likely that individual is probably going to beat the tar out of the offender. So with inertia, they're also going to be looking at how easy of a target is this. So if you're small, more likely to be victimized. If you're alone, more likely to be victimized. Visibility, it's one, being able to be seen by the offender. So again, like with the car, if your valuables are out of sight, you're going to be less likely to have your car broken into. But it can also refer to the offender being able to commit the act without being seen. Like they're going to be less likely to break into a car during the day on a busy street. If they're going to try breaking into cars in the daytime, it's going to be less busy street. If they're going to do it at night, hey, we want to make sure it's in more of an isolated area where there's not a lot of light and a lot of traffic. Also, with visibility, too, one thing that they'll look at, too, how often do law enforcement patrol the area? If it's an area where there's a lot of law enforcement, they're going to be really, they're not going to be invisible. They're going to be more likely to be seen doing it. And the next factor that's looked at is accessibility. Can the, which this can be affected by the offender's capabilities. Again, looking at, if they want to break into a car, do they actually even have the skills to get into the car? Do they have the skills to get past the security system? Accessibility, when it comes to people, they're going to be looking at, one, is the person alone? Does it look like they can defend themselves and potentially beat me up. If the person's in a group of people, okay, more likely I'm probably going to get beat up by this group of people. More likely somebody's going to call the cops on me. They're also going to be looking at too, like with the person, where are they? People would be seen as more accessible if they're in a secluded area versus if you're in a well-lit area with a lot of people, you're not going to be deemed as accessible. Now, the target also needs to be concealable, easily hidden. So, like, I know this kind of seems like, well, how can a person be concealable? That's where kind of the place comes in. Removable, meaning they could be removed from the place. So, again, like with the big screen TVs when I was younger, those were not easily removable. Where TVs now, even the bigger ones, still pretty light. You could still easily carry them away. Where the ones back in the day, they were way too big. There was no way. Also, they need to be deemed as available, vulnerable. Again, going over the person, like you might be at a party, and let's say you've got an offender that wants to sexually assault someone. They're going to be more likely to go after someone that's alone and appears intoxicated than someone that's with a group of people. Even if that person's intoxicated, if they have friends that are checking on them, friends that step in and go, hey, no, you're not going away with that person. You're staying here. That person is then not going to be deemed as vulnerable. Now, really, with the suitable target, this theory is not victim blaming at all. With discussing what a suitable target is, it's really stating this is what offenders look for, and it's helping people realize, hey, this is what I can do to make sure that I don't get victimized, that I'm not seen as a suitable target. This is part of the reason why a lot of college campuses will tell students that, hey, we know you're going to go party, but if you go to the bar or go to a party, make sure you go to a group of people. Don't go by yourselves. Um, if you are going to be drinking, don't drink in excess. If you do, make sure you've got someone that's looking out for you. And they'll also tell people that, hey, if you're that friend, look out for your friend. Make sure that your friend isn't potentially getting themselves into a bad situation. So, like if somebody's talking to them and, oh, hey, hey, why don't you go to my place? No, they don't want to go to your place. Thank you very much. They're staying here with me. And also, the target, it's got to be viewed as enjoyable by the offender. It's got to meet whatever reason why that offender's committing that crime. Now, what can buffer the suitable target? What can help, even if there is a suitable target? What can make the offender go, nope, I am not doing that one? Are capable guardians. Now, they can prevent criminal activity from occurring through protection of the potential victim, supervision of the place, etc. Now, guardians can either be formal, like law enforcement, or place management for store security staff. But they can also be informal, like area residents. The offender's friends and family, those handlers, could also be a guardian as well. You can be a guardian of yourself, to keep yourself from being victimized. You are also the guardian of your home as well and your car. Now, an informal guardian is anyone that could either notify law enforcement of the offender's action, so basically call the cops, identify the offender, or may control the offender's behavior. So, like, For example, crime is less likely to occur in a neighborhood that does have like a neighborhood watch and a lot of activity going on. And also, residents that are kind of looking out for each other and what's going on in the community. If a neighborhood is deemed that, hey, these people actually kind of care about what's going on and they actually call law enforcement, they would be capable guardians. Any target in that neighborhood would be kind of deemed as not suitable because of the capable guardians. Now, one thing, a guardian can be direct, a person, or indirect, like CCTV or a security system. Now, a guardian, they need to be viewed as capable by the offender in order for the crime to be deterred. And that's really important. Like, for example, the door greeters at Walmart, they are not capable guardians because, many of them are elderly, they're handicapped, so they wouldn't be deemed as a guardian. That's why they can't be expected to actually like, stop a shoplifter or anything because they're really not there to be a guardian. Another example of a guardian that really wouldn't be deemed as effective, let's say a bank has security. Professional bank robbers often will scope a bank out for a long time. And they'll go in and they'll look at kind of the employees and the time of day and how much traffic is in the bank. But then they're also, that bank has security staff. If the security staff looks like they're going to be falling asleep at any second or doesn't look really healthy, those potential bank robbers aren't going to deem that guardian as capable. They're going to go, oh, this guy goes to sleep, we could take them very easily. So they're not going to be viewed as capable. Now that's the end of the presentation. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, if you have any questions, concerns, please feel free to contact me. And if there's ever anything else you would like me to do a presentation on, please let me know. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day and stay safe out there.